A fixed money supply is perfectly elastic, but let's explain it more clearly for the Keynesians in the back. Let's say there are 10 bitcoins in an economy. That supply of money is fixed. In January, those 10 bitcoins can buy 10 Ferraris, meaning the purchasing power of one bitcoin is one Ferrari. In August, those 10 bitcoins can buy 20 Ferraris, meaning the purchasing power of one bitcoin is two Ferraris. 0.5 bitcoins buys you one Ferrari. People conflates this increase in purchasing power with an increase in the money's price. But there is no price measuring the value of money. Rather, the measure of a money's value is its purchasing power. But that's beside the point. What happens here is that in January, if someone owned one Bitcoin and wanted to buy a Ferrari, they could do so, but they would have no money left over. In August, if someone still owned that same one Bitcoin and wanted to buy a Ferrari, they could do so, but they'd only have to pay 0.5 Bitcoins, which means now they would have money left over to spend elsewhere in the economy. That is the key point, because in August, that person has money left over after buying the Ferrari due to the purchasing power increase of Bitcoin. They can now circulate their money in a greater quantity of places, effectively fulfilling the need of elasticity. Whereas only one person had money in January after the sale of the Ferrari, the seller of the Ferrari, now at least two people have money in August, the seller of the Ferrari and the buyer of Ferrari, who both have 0.5 bitcoins. And here's the thing. Both the seller and the buyer in August have money, 0.5 bitcoins, that is worth the same as the one bitcoin in January. Keynesians believe elasticity is achieved by printing money to get it into the hands of more people, which is incredibly stupid, because all that does is decrease the money's purchasing power, cause economic booms and busts, and create a wealth gap between those who receive the new money and those who don't, among many other horrible things. What the world needs is a fixed supply of money that is infinitely divisible. If the one Bitcoin could not be divided, then it would be impractical as money. Divisibility is a requisite property of money for a reason. As Austrian economist Ludwig von Mises said, the quantity of money available in the whole economy is always sufficient to secure for everybody all that money does and can do. But that money has to be infinitely divisible so that everybody can access the money. Mises is right. Parker is right. The Keynesians are wrong and have destroyed the soundness of our economy as a result. A fixed supply of money is actually perfectly elastic. As Parker coins it, this is the Nakamoto paradox. As purchasing power increases, the money that is available to be circulated increases, solving the issue of elasticity. As demonstrated with the Ferrari example, the total fixed supply of money does not need to be changed for elasticity to take place. As purchasing power decreases, the money that is available to be circulated decreases, solving the issue of elasticity on the other side. Central banks believe they can be the perfect deciders of elasticity by creating money and drawing it out of the economy. Keynesians support this belief, but that's a fallacy, perhaps the greatest of our time. When central banks print new money, they devalue the money and create asset bubbles and price inflation, which causes the central bank to draw money out of the economy, which pops the asset bubble, causing an economic crash, which they then have to stimulate with new printed money and further monetary debasement. Money does not have to be printed, and its value debased for it to be elastic. Perfect elasticity comes from a fixed supply of money that cannot be tampered with by centralized authorities, that is infinitely divisible. Bitcoin is changing everything. It is bringing economics in our world back to truth and the laws of nature. We do not need a central bank manipulating money to have a functioning economy. We need quite the opposite. We need a fixed supply of money that cannot be manipulated and is infinitely divisible, along with all of the other requisite monetary properties. Bitcoin checks those boxes too. The Keynesian goons will tell you the money supply needs to be manipulated by a central bank so they can maintain their god-tier power that is the ability to manipulate money. And you know John Maynard Keynes, the founder of the economic school of Keynesianism, was a confirmed pedophile, right? That's a story for another day. Meanwhile, Bitcoin wins again.